Barcelona plop them into the Premier League. Where do they finish?
Fourth, they'd make Champions League easy.
If Barcelona are playing the Premier right now, where do you think they're going to finish?
Seventh.
I'm going to put them seventh.
Barcelona will not finish in the top 5 of the Premier League.
What makes La Liga one of the best leagues in the world?
It's not as fast as the Premier League, it's not as fast as the Bundesliga, but there's a calm presence when you're watching La Liga.
Where would Real Madrid and Barcelona finish in the Premier League this season?
They aren't keeping up with the physicality of the Premier League every week. They're just not. I'm having them both below Arsenal and City, you know.
Real Madrid this season, where would they have finished in the Prem?
Well, you could...
Would they have finished higher or lower than Man City in the Prem?
Lower.
On February the 20th, 2026, Theo Walcott sat on Amazon Prime alongside Wayne Rooney and Alan Shearer and predicted that Real Madrid would finish 8th in the Premier League.
8th. There's going to be a lot of Madrid fans not happy with that, but I do feel there's teams that are more equipped in the Premier League, and I don't think Real Madrid would be one of those teams.
Not outside the title race. Not scraping top 4. 8th. A club 4 points behind Barcelona in La Liga at the time, finishing behind 7 Premier League clubs. 3 weeks later, 4 Premier League clubs got knocked out of the Champions League in the same week. Chelsea lost 8-2 to PSG on aggregate. Manchester City lost 5-1 to Real Madrid. Newcastle lost 8-3 to Barcelona. Tottenham lost 7-5 to Atletico Madrid. No country in the history of the Champions League has ever had 4 clubs wiped out at the same stage in the same week. La Liga fans sent Walcott's clip straight back at him with the scorelines attached. Premier League fans blamed the schedule. Someone was lying to themselves. The Farmers League label was born on Twitter in the early 2010s, when fans noticed that Bayern were winning the Bundesliga every year, PSG were winning League One every year, and Juventus were winning Serie A every year. You already knew who the champion was going to be before a ball was kicked in August. The label hit League One hardest. PSG won it 9 times out of 11 across 1 decade. But it spread. La Liga got the same treatment because Real Madrid and Barcelona won almost every title between them from 2004 onwards. Premier League fans used it freely, and they had something to point to. Their league produced Leicester City winning at 5,000 to 1 odds in 2016. A club that nearly got relegated the season before, winning the Premier League title. No other major European league has anything close to that, and they knew it. Then in August 2020, Lyon eliminated Manchester City from the Champions League. PSG reached the final. For the first time since 1996, neither English nor Spanish clubs were in the semi-finals. Mbappe posted 2 words after Lyon beat City. Farmers League. With a clown emoji. Lyon's official account replied with 3 words. No farmers here. The Premier League had spent years calling League One a farmers league, and a French club had just knocked out Manchester City. Mbappe's post got more retweets than most match reports that week. That was 2020. 6 years later, the argument is louder than it has ever been. La Liga president Javier Tebas fired back at the wider debate, arguing that La Liga performs just as well as the Premier League in Europe, if not better, through smarter spending and academy development. Robert Lewandowski made a version of that point years before this debate ever reached Amazon Prime. He described the Premier League transfer market as one where clubs pay enormous fees for players who have not proven they deserve it. A player scores 10 goals in 6 months, he said, and a club pays 60 or 70 million. Before, you had to actually achieve something first. Both men were pointing at the same problem. Money inflates perceived value, and the Champions League is the only competition ruthless enough to expose that. 6 Premier League clubs reached the Champions League knockout rounds this season, more than any other country has ever managed in a single edition. Arsenal topped the entire league phase with a perfect record, 8 wins from 8. The story going into the round of 16 was that English football had never been stronger in Europe. The first legs arrived on March the 10th and 11th. PSG won 5-2 away at Chelsea. Real Madrid beat Manchester City 3-0 at the Bernabeu. Atletico Madrid beat Tottenham 5-2 at home. Newcastle drew 1-1 at home to Barcelona, a result they were genuinely proud of. Only Arsenal and Liverpool came away from the first legs in a strong position. The second legs finished the job. Chelsea lost 3-0 at home to PSG, 8-2 on aggregate. PSG were the defending champions and never looked troubled across either leg. Manchester City lost 2-1 at home to Real Madrid, 5-1 on aggregate. City were second in the Premier League at the time. Real Madrid were second in La Liga, 4 points behind Barcelona. The second best team in England just lost 5-1 on aggregate to the second best team in Spain. And Real Madrid did it without Mbappe, Bellingham, and Rodrygo all fit at the same time. Barcelona won 7-2 at the Camp Nou, 8-3 on aggregate, with their foot off the accelerator before the final whistle. Atletico went through 7-5 on aggregate despite losing the second leg 3-2 at home to Tottenham. Arsenal beat Leverkusen 3-1 on aggregate. Liverpool, who lost the first leg 1-0 away to Galatasaray, won 4-0 at home to go through 4-1 overall. 2 English clubs remain from a record 6 that entered. La Liga had 3 clubs in the quarterfinals, the same 3 that eliminated 3 of England's representatives across 2 weeks in March. 4 Premier League clubs conceded 28 goals in a single week and went home. The Premier League has the money. La Liga has the proof. Barcelona built a squad for €27.5 million and dismantled one assembled for over 200 million. Real Madrid paid $10 million for Trent Alexander-Arnold and eliminated the second-best team in England by 5 goals. Spanish clubs have won the Champions League 20 times. English clubs have won it 15. La Liga produces better players, develops them cheaper, and wins the competition that actually separates the leagues when the arguing stops. The Premier League is the most entertaining domestic league on earth. It is not the best league on earth. La Liga is. The Champions League has been saying so for 20 years. The scorelines from March just said it again, louder than ever.